I did not change the date on this. I'll have to do that in a moment. Today is actually October the 8th. It's Friday. I think I haven't changed my date on the titles here in a couple of days, so I need to get that done. Anyway, crazy hair and all. It's yeah, just here to do our quick market update and walk through what we're looking at for the day. Obviously, big surprise. It doesn't, it's the same as every day. Try to keep it consistent. What we're looking at right now, though, is we have non-farm payroll reports coming up here shortly, and that'll be a potential catalyst as the market sessions get underway here in just a bit. So we've got employment rate and unemployment in the Canadian as well as here in the US. And the big thing with this isn't to try to interpret the outcome of the report. It's just to know that there is a potential catalyst in the marketplace. Whatever you think should happen as a result of the report that comes out here is honestly, it's irrelevant. It comes down to trading the direction that the market is going at, over the course of today. So what is that direction over the course of the day? Well, things are a little bit mixed up. We've talked about that over here before. The S&P had a big push up here recently, so our 30-minute bias is long, but the 4-hour bias is still short. So, here on the S&P, we've kind of really pushed to a new level up here we haven't seen in a while. We're tapping on 4,400 right up here, big whole number. So that's, potentially interesting for us, especially if this news breaks us above 4,400. That could continue on. As far as a breakout level goes, that's a great spot to look at potential breakouts. But as far as the BTX method goes, we're in a mixed bias, and the safest thing to do would just be to wait and see what the market actually is doing, and if we're going to continue long. And if that does happen, then eventually our 4-hour bias will flip and we'll have a confirmed market bias that we can trade in. So keep that in mind. 4,400 if you want to look at breakouts, maybe good area for you there. But otherwise, just stay on the sideline until our market bias confirms and we have an actual direction that we can trade in. The crude over here, we have a long bias, 4 hours long. 30-minute has rolled back over to long as well. So we're pulling back nicely here, making lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. So if we can get a snap back in the direction of that market bias, with some momentum breaking out above here, then that would give us an opportunity to go long in the direction of that market trend. So we're looking for potential long trades here on crude. And then gold is in a mixed bias for us. We're short on the 4-hour. We were short on the 30-minute. We've had a big push up here recently, and that's flipped things over for us. So now the 30-minute bias is long. So we've got a mixed bias here on gold. So, safest bet right now, just stay out, stay away. Let the news hit. The news is coming up here in about 8 minutes as I'm recording this. So it'll be at 7:30 my time. But, the big thing is to see how the greater market interprets what's happening with the news and where it's being pushed and what the bias is overall. And that's where we want to trade with. We want to trade with the direction that everybody else is going. We don't want to keep trying to run against the stream or swim against the stream, against the current, right? Or jump out in front of that freight train, as we say, because the market's a big thing and it's moving fast and it will run us over if we're constantly jumping out there without a reason, without a good point to say, hey, maybe we're getting ready to reverse or whatever it might be. So anyway, that's it for me. Really the only one that we can look at right now for the BTX method would be on crude. But there is a potential breakout on the S&P if you're so inclined. So anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to let you go. Have a great weekend. We'll come back on Monday and see how things are rolling from there. As I've said before, this can be a trying time if you're in, as the markets start to shake out and get to these periods where you don't have any kind of directional bias, things are mixed up. Sometimes you get some chop around here. Just got to stick with it and sit on your hands if you have to, because these periods like this where we're not trading sometimes is the hardest for a trader, because the trader wants to trade. There's some sort of identification with, in order to be a trader, I must be hitting the button. And that can work against you. It works against you because you're trading emotionally, you're not trading with a plan or with a system. And that ultimately is what drives to ruin or drives to larger drawdowns than you'd like to see, because you're stepping outside of something that's got a proven methodical way of approaching the market. So just coming into the weekend, keep that in mind.